my phone's at 8%, so I'm going to try to get this done quickly. So I just watched that true crime documentary, Abducted in Plain Sight. And I want to tell you something. There were red flags from the beginning. I'm sorry. I'm going to try not to let my emotions get the best of me in this video, but I'm angry at this. The parents allowed this man to violate their daughter. You know, okay, so a grown man starts showing interest. Your next door neighbor, grown man, starts showing interest in your 12-year-old daughter. So you let him take her on camping trips. You let him take her alone to horse stables where he kidnaps her the first freaking time. Then they're gone for months, gets married to her in Mexico, and says, we'll only come back to the United States if everyone agrees to let me marry her in the United States. Oh my God. Okay. So it's just, don't watch it if you get angry easily at this kind of stuff. You know, I didn't think it was going to be that horrific, and it was. There were so many red flags, so many. The mom was sleeping with the guy when she knew he was using her to get to this 12-year-old daughter. Then he was in therapy because he was abused as a child, and it wasn't even a licensed psychologist. The guy had lost his license. His psychologist or whatever had lost his license already. Then he said, I think it'll really help my therapy if I can just lay next to her while she sleeps. Okay. And this happened 4 nights a week for 6 months. They allowed that grown man that lived next door to lay next to their 12-year-old daughter. 6 months. 4 nights a week for 6 months. How is that not a red flag? How does any parent think that they're doing the right thing there? So then, after he kidnaps her, after he kidnaps her, okay, they come back. He goes to jail. His wife, the pedophile's wife, comes over and says, I'm going to tell the whole town about your wife told the kidnapped girl's dad, I'm going to tell the whole town about your wife having an affair with my husband if you don't drop the charges. They went and dropped the charges. Okay, so you know, hold on. I got to earmuff my kid real quick. So you're a hoe and you slept with your next door neighbor who's sleeping with your 12-year-old daughter, telling her that the aliens will kill her whole family if she says anything, and you're going to drop the charges because you're worried about your reputation? You know, I'm sorry. I am so not a blame the parents unless it's a necessary, you know, blame. You know, because I've been in situations where I was blamed for a lot of things that I had nothing to do with and lied about, and my reputation was dragged through the mud. But I'm going to tell you something right now. I would never put my child in that situation. Ever. Not once. You know, and I look at my 12-year-old daughter sitting in the living room right now, and I think, if my next door neighbor knocked on my door and said it would help my therapy if I can just lay next to her, I would seriously flip. I would flip. I can't understand how nobody saw those red flags. And the parents were like, well, I gotta put my phone in. Oh, we were a little weary. You were a little weary? What the hell is the matter with you? You know? And so on this documentary, the mom's crying and the dad's crying and all the sisters are screwed up, you know? And it's like, this girl lost her adolescence. Lost it completely, you know, because she was master manipulated by a pedophile, and that her parents gave her to this guy. Her parents gave her to him. Here you go. Just don't tell our secrets. Don't let everybody think that we're trash and you can do whatever you want to my 12-year-old daughter. I don't understand. And like, this is back in the 70s, you know. Nowadays, it might be a little different, you know, but
Danger.
I'm angry in my soul from watching that documentary because it just makes me think, you know, I have these 4 daughters. And there's so many disgusting people in this world, you know, and the girl overcame it and she grew from it. She wrote a book about it, you know, and she's so strong, and it wasn't her fault at all, you know, and she wanted to marry this guy. She was in love with him because she was manipulated by him because she was a child. She was not an adult. She could not consent as an adult. She was a child. You know, you could tell by the sound of her voice. She didn't even sound 12. She sounded like she was 8. She had the same voice.
Hi.
like my 8-year-old daughter. And that it breaks my heart. I know that I don't know this family, and I know that, you know, things like this happen. And when kids are kidnapped, you can't always blame the parents. But in this case, they handed her to a disgusting, twisted freak. There was no excuse for that.
He was 40 and she was 12.
There's no legitimate excuse to be like that to a child, ever. Not even a little bit. And it makes me sick. It makes me physically sick. So I just wanted to share that because I just got done watching it. And I just couldn't understand these parents, you know, and not standing up for your child. Like, so what if people think I'm trash? So, you know, so what if everybody finds out I slept with my neighbor? You know, infidelity happens all the time. I would do anything to protect my children. If somebody came to me and said, hey, so if they put a gun to my head and they said, it's either you or her, I would take that bullet in a heartbeat. I would never allow somebody to come and hurt my child that way. I can't even think about it, about something like that happening to one of mine. You know, I would lose it. I would lose my mind, you know. And then after she was kidnapped the first time, came back, it continued to happen. The mom continued to sleep with this guy. He kidnapped her again. He kidnapped her a second time. And they were nice to him. They weren't mean to him. They were nice to him, you know. And it's sick. It's freaking sick. And I'm sorry for this rant, but that's what my channel is for, to talk about things like this, you know. And it's been a long time since I have been this angry, like deep down in my soul.
From only a movie.
Protect your kids. Protect your children from any kind of harm. If somebody says, I'm going to tell somebody that you did this, you're this kind of person, whatever. So what? Tell the world. I don't care. Go tell the aliens. I don't care. Tell God. I don't give a crap. But I will always protect my kids over anything. Anything in this entire universe. And the sick thing about it is sometimes parents don't see a red flag. Sometimes something's happening and there is no warning. There's no signs that something's happening. And then bam, you know? But when there's so many flags, that's my biggest rant, is there were so many. There was so many chances for that family to do the right thing for their daughter. There were millions of chances. You know, and they just kept doing it. If somebody kidnaps my kid, I sure the hell ain't gonna be over there, you know, jumping their bones. Who does that? I mean, I don't know. So anyway, that's my rant. I'm sorry if it's long, but if you have a weak heart and, you know, and you get mad about stuff like this, my suggestion is don't watch that documentary, because it's a load. It is a load of crap. That this guy was convicted of kidnapping. This guy was convicted before he met this family. He was convicted of raping a child and got 1 year. 1 year in jail.
Wow.
After the kidnap, he got 45 days. 45. You know, so the justice system isn't as lenient now in some stances.
If I was the judge, I would put...
Take it, honey. You know, but still, 1 year for raping a child. And then he went on to do more. And then when this girl grew up and she wrote a book and she went on public television to tell about her story with this man, 6 other women came forward and said, when I was a child, he did this to me.
The same guy.
Intercourse with 6 other little girls. And nothing was ever done to this man. You know, so that's the world as we know it.
Can I say something?
So, protect your babies. If there's even a single red flag, get that person away from your family forever. Don't ever look back for any reason at all. Okay, well, I'm done ranting.
Can I say something? If I was the judge back then I would have put him in jail for a really long time.
Yeah.
5,000
Or
years.
worse. Anyway, so YouTubers, enjoy the rest of your Monday evening. Okay, bye guys.